What's up guys, my name is Elias and in today's Confluence tutorial we are going to take a closer look at Confluence, the #1 team workspace tool. Now with Confluence you are going to get a lot of different features, and Confluence is actually already being used by big names like Canva, NASA, New York Times for example. Confluence actually is being made by Atlassian. Now Atlassian actually already has made Jira for example, Trello, and a lot of people actually don't understand the difference between Jira and Confluence. So let me quickly cover that. At its core, Confluence is being used for creating and sharing content for your team. So it kind of just serves as a knowledge base and collaboration platform to store all sorts of different data points, essentially. There are also some other features to this, but at its core, it's just that. On the other side, Jira is primarily an agile project management tool. And by the way, I already made a complete Jira tutorial in the past going over everything needed to set up Jira, which you can watch by going to the description down below. Either way, Jira is a project management tool and it is primarily designed for planning, tracking and managing projects. This is then actually going to look something like this. So as you can see at its core, with Jira you are going to have different issues, you are going to have project, epics and so on. Now, one thing which I do want to mention is that although they are different tools, basically Jira and Confluence are from the same company, Atlassian, which also means that they are going to seamlessly integrate. And this is actually also one of the reasons why I like Confluence so much. You can actually easily integrate all sorts of different projects, both from Jira as well as from Trello. Now before we can actually dive into the Confluence dashboard, we will have to go over some simple terms that you will have to understand when using Confluence. Luckily these terms are pretty basic and simple, but I still quickly want to go over them. This kind of is going to work as a hierarchy. Basically with Confluence, all of your data is going to be stored in different kind of spaces. This is just a general big overview of all of your data. In Jira for example, this would be called an epic. Now, I'm going to reference Jira quite a lot as basically I think it is really important to go over that and to go over the integration. However, I also do want to mention that you don't necessarily have to actually use Jira to use Confluence. They are standalone tools, so you don't have to actually use them both. Either way, inside these spaces, you then do have different kind of pages. These could be just normal blank pages where you can then put in different kind of elements. However, these could also, for example, be whiteboards. And I will actually also show you how to set up everything inside this video. So to get started, make sure to just get Confluence for free. And once you've created yourself an account, this is how you are going to be greeted. Now, actually, you can just skip all of these questions right here, as we are going to go over everything step by step. Alright, to get started, let's actually click on Home right here. I will quickly close this pop-up and let's now actually get started with the navigation bar right here. First of all, we do have the Home. This is just going to display an overview of all of the different elements, datasets and so on. Then we do have the Recents tab. Basically, this is going to show you all of the different, essentially all of the different pages that you have edited in the past. As for Spaces, we've already have talked about this. These are going to be the general overviews of your datasets. In my case, by default, they've actually created a Krause tutorial space. This would be the space for my personal account. Only I can see this. And they've actually also automatically generated a new space, which you can then actually share with other team members and so on. You can right here actually also view all spaces and create a new space. Right here under team, you can then actually invite people to Confluence, you can create a team, and you can actually also search people and teams inside Confluence. As for apps, basically with Confluence, you are going to have a lot of different app integrations. For example, you have Slack, Google Drive, and so on. Let me quickly show you this. As you can see, this is going to be the marketplace for the apps. Most of these are going to be free, and basically you can integrate all sorts of different tools inside Confluence, which is going to be super useful if you, for example, are going to use a separate CRM, are going to use some other tools. Basically, Confluence and Atlassian does have it all. Let's now actually continue. Right here on the templates, you can then actually see basically pre-made templates, which you can then use for your sites. these are actually super good and super useful. I actually use these quite a lot. For example, if you do want to create a troubleshooting article, you can do so right here. You can then use this, and this page right here can then be actually used to create a troubleshooting article. Either way, let's now actually get started by clicking on this big blue button right here, and then we are going to have 4 or actually 5 different options. First of all, we can create a new page, a new whiteboard, a new blog, a new smart link, and then also a new space. Let's actually get started by clicking on page right here. Basically, this is how the page layout is going to look like. Right here on the left, you are going to see a general overview of all of the different, essentially of your space. And then right here on the left as well, you are going to see the content inside your space. For me, this would be this getting started with Confluence article right here. This automatically gets generated once you actually create a Confluence account. And then, for example, we would also have our draft right here of our troubleshooting page. Either way, you can then actually also create new contents right here. Let's actually for now also create a whiteboard. And now we are going to have both a whiteboard as well as a general blank page right here. Let me actually quickly delete this right here. Perfect. So let's firstly get started with the page. To actually build up this page, you will have to give this a title. In my case, I'm just going to name this YouTube test page. We can then actually also insert emojis right here. We can set a status. For example, we can do a rough draft, in process, ready for review, verified, and so on. However, we can actually also add a custom status onto this, and we can actually also set a custom color. Alright, we can then actually also add a header image. We can also upload our own custom header images, but for me, I just now uploaded one from Unsplash. And now we can actually get started adding actual content onto our page. So to do so, this is actually going to work fairly similar to tools like Notion, for example. You will just have to put in a slash right here, and then you are going to have all sorts of different elements that you can actually add. For example, we can then actually put in slash heading, and then we do have all of the different heading options. So we can then put in heading 1. However, this is not basic. We can also put in emoji. We can then actually also put in basically all sorts of different things. And this is actually also one of the key features of Confluence. You are also going to have translation features. So you can also fix spelling and grammar, you can improve your writing, and these are actually, for example, going to be some AI features which they've recently added. And you can actually also directly integrate Jira. So if we're now going to put in slash Jira, you're then going to see all of the different Jira integrations that Atlassian currently offers. This would be just the insertion of Jira issues, Jira legacy. You can actually also create a Jira issue right here. However, this isn't actually going to work because I don't really have a Jira account on this Atlassian account. So I'm just going to opt out of this. And then we are also going to have the option to actually insert Jira charts, a Jira timeline, and you can actually also insert other assets right here if we do want to. Now, as for general page creation process, I think this is going to be pretty straightforward, and I think this is actually pretty self-explanatory. However, still, I do want to cover some other features so that you can actually use Confluence for its full power. Right here, you can actually use this writing assistance to help you and to actually help you to create all sorts of different text inside Confluence. You can then publish this page by using this right here on the top right, and you will then have to set a location where you do want to publish this. Additionally, you can actually also change the access. We can, for example, say that anyone in this space can view and edit this. However, we can actually also say that only some can edit this, or only a specific people can view or edit. This would be a way of ensuring that this article right here is only going to see your boss, for example. Then we can click on continue, we can publish this, and now this is going to be published for our team. And now we are also going to have this, this banner right here, which I've added actually. We can then actually also add automations right here. We can click on create automation, and this basically is going to be a way, let me actually show you this, of automating all sorts of different things inside Confluence and Jira. And this generally does work great if you do want to streamline different kind of workflows, I guess. However, generally in my day-to-day life, I don't really use this. And then we also do have the whiteboard. Now, I actually really like this whiteboard. I think they've only recently added this, and basically this works pretty similarly to other tools like Miro, for example, or like Excalibur and so on, in a sense where you can actually just visually put in all sorts of different data sets. You can actually use the shift button to make this basically to transform this like this. You can then actually also add sticky notes, you can add text, add folders, and so on. And you can actually also import all sorts of different data sets from Jira as well. Then you can actually also create a link right here, and you can then actually also search or paste different kind of links inside Confluence and inside this whiteboard right here. Let's for now opt out of this, and now as you can see right here on the recent, we are actually going to see our YouTube test page as well as our untitled whiteboard one. Now, that's basically it for this Confluence tutorial. As always, if you do have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments down below, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible.